We're ready? Good evening, my Rabbi. We're almost at Rosh Hashanah. Few days. We just finished Seder Nezikin, and we just finished Masechtas Hayrius. The Gemara in Hayrius, Daf Yud Beis, about one page before the end, talks about the Simonim. Talks about the Simonim that we eat on Leil Rosh Hashanah. Amar Abaya. I'll quote you the Gemara first, and then we'll see the Maharal, plus a Marsha, because the Marsha gives a little bit, rounds off what the Maharal says. Let's see it. Amar Abaya. Now that you have told us, the Gemara has said that Simonim make a difference. La'olam yerogel. Gears of the Gemara is lemechse, but they change it lemechal. You should be used to eating bereish shata at the beginning of the year, kara, rubia, karti, silka, tamri. 5 different things: the gourd, the selek, the beets, the tamarim, the leek. 5 different things. Says the Maharal. Lakach Omar Hashta. So on this page, if you have it, it's right over here. Here's where it is. Shmuley, I knew you would be here. Achrein chalich gewist. Lakach Omar Hashta de Omar Simone Milsa. Now that you say Simone Milsa, may you have one also over here. Yehi Rogel Lemechel. Why? Ki elu dvarim, kara, which is a gourd, hu godol me'oid, v'simen hu sheyagdil. It's a simen that you shall grow. Rubia, meloshen pru revu, rubia, meloshen ribui bunim, karti, sheyichrisi soinehem, yichrisu soinehem. That are coming out give tsar. Tamarim, tamri, shenem tzadek atama yifrach. Silky, she is salik memenu Hashem yizbarach hachoitim. He'll take away all of the sins. V'lakach heim chamisha, heim simin toiv, mischaber aleim al yedei achila. If you eat these 5 things on Rosh Hashanah, zogt the Gemara, the Maharal is explaining the Gemara, it's a good sign. If you eat something, you internalize. You can't get closer to that. It becomes part of you. And don't say that this is something small. Ki gam haneviyim, when a Navi would get a nevuah, hoya oisa simonim she'asimin l'toiv lahem, k'moy she'erech Ramban sham. The Ramban already explained at length over there that when the Eibishter would send a nevuah to the Navi, so it would be, it was a prophecy of what will happen, and then the Navi was instructed to do something, to bring that hashpah and actualize it, to start, so it begins to develop in this world. So whether it was, he says, whether it was attacking someone, you shot arrows in that direction, the Navi, and that's the Ramban. Now listen, Lokach. So since Simonim is a thing, and it's real, Yistem Pihem Shel Doivrei Sheker. Let's shut the mouth of all those Doivrei Sheker. Hamidabrim al Tzadikim, that say bad about Tzadikim. Shechoishvim Dover Zeh Kemo Nichush. They say, how you let it go and eat Simonim? How you let it go and do kapuris? Right? The kapuris with the chicken? Nichush. Ein adover kain. It's not true. Rak hu simin toiv bisha sheroya elzeh. It's a good simin when it's appropriate. Kamoy she'amar zechron levracha simonim milsa. This is halfway through the Maharal, and then he goes to the next piece and explains how and what they actually represent. Before we get there, we're a little stuck. The Maharal told us that there are doivrei shikarim who say that this is nichush, but he doesn't explain. He just says it's a good siman. So what's the pshat? Why is it not nichush? All right, the Gemara says that you're not allowed to be superstitious. The Gemara says in Sanhedrin, Daf Samachay, if a person's eating bread and it falls down, and he says, oh, this means this and this sign, it's usser. If a black cat walks in front of you, and you say that's bad luck, or a mirror breaks, v'chule, all those things are usser. Tamim ti Hashem lekechem. Nu is ma'aser or no, and what's this? All right, and you go ahead and you eat this, so this is not a siman, or you go admit the chicken or mach, that's not a siman, that's not nichush. Why not? The Maharal asks this kasha, and he tackles it. And that's why in tonight's Maharal Shiur, we're going to do a shtickle of Maharal. Right before this Gemara with Abaya, there was a Gemara right before that, also a Rosh Hashanah Gemara. The Gemara says, for those of you who learned Daf Yomi, it's probably pretty familiar. You just had it a couple of days ago. The Gemara says, if a person, I'll read you the Gemara. If a person would like to know if his year will be successful or not, literally, if you're going to make it, says the Gemara, there's a way to find out.
In health, in Parshas, in
everything.
In everything.
Yeah, watch. I'm going to show you. Hi man, the boy leda. If a person it's a Gemara. If a person wants to know, imasik shaita iloi, if his year retzach osfiden, he's going to get the year or not. Nitle shrage, take a lamp, a lichtale. Basora yomi deben Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippurim, in the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. Zika, in a house where the wind is not blowing. If the wind, there's no wind. If the lempale, if the candle burns all the way down and doesn't extinguish early, then neida de maisik shaita, you're going to make it all the way to the end. We're at case number one. Man de moileva de iska. He wants to go to business. Boile made de matzliach oloi. Is he going to be matzliach or not? What should he do? Lir beitane goila. He should breed some chickens. I shomin v'shapir. If it's good, matzliach. It's matzliach. Hi man de boile mefik l'urcha. He wants to go on the road. The roads were dangerous. Pirates, listim, this, wherever they went. Is he going to make it back? Go into a dark house, not completely black. If you see the shadow of the shadow, you're going to come back. And he's going to come back. On that, Amar Abaya, so let's eat these foods on Rosh Hashanah. So the basis of this Gemara is this. Frek the Maharal, but this is nichush. Lighting the candle, what's going on? How are you allowed to do this? So the Maharal is in here. Right? It's a first, I think, in the Maharal Shiur that we did a shtick of Maharal, but it's nagel in yanenu, it's in yana de yaima, and we have to learn. So I even put numbers by it so that you could see it easily. By number one, yesh ledaktik b'divrei hamaymer hazeh. Mikara it says, Hayman de boy lady masik shaitei loy. Ubasiya loy kama rak chelak harishon. It says, am I going to make it or not? But if you paid attention to Lashon the Gemara, it only says the tzad hapazativi. It only says, do this, and if it's good. It doesn't say if it extinguishes, you won't make it. It doesn't say if the chicken doesn't grow and doesn't breed, it won't make it. It doesn't say that. The Amar Chelak Arishon Dani Imoshech Nar Neido Maisek Shait V'Loi Kama Chaluk Hasheni Di Iloi Moshech Har Eloi Maisek Shait. It doesn't say the second half. Right. V'chein, why? If he wants to offer matzliach, it only says the chelak hatoiv. So what's the pshat? V'yesh le'hashav 2 lines below. The chayra. Why isn't there a problem of nechush? Isn't this Nechush? Look at point number 2. Underline, Ve'eni chelki gamani. I wanted to, Nechush is superstitious, right? Which is usser. So what's going on? Ve'nena ani chelki. You're going to learn a groisa lesson. It's appropriate for the beginning of the year. Ki atoiv hu ba mimenu yizbarach shemoy. Yizbarach baruch hu. From the Eibishter comes only good. Abol hara eino yored min hashamayim. Never does Ra come from heaven. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mechalkel chayim bechesed. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is chei ha'olamim. He's the source of life. We don't always get it. We don't always get bracha. The teretz is because we get in the way of ourselves. We get in the way of the bracha that could come to us, and we stop it sometimes from coming. Avol avoinoi shel adam hu misalik midas toivoi yizbarach me'atzmoi. That's the worry. K'moshe kosav ki avoinoi seichem. Our sins hevdilu beini leveinechem. V'lezeh hatoiv abom mizenu yizbarach behechlot. The toiv which is going to come, abedi lost nisht. What do you get in the way of your own bracha for heaven's sakes? The Eibishter doesn't want to pull his punches. He wants to give you everything. Now, says the Maharal, there's a rule when it comes to nevuah. When the Eibishter sends a nevuah with a navi, and the nevuah is a good nevuah, that nevuah is going to happen no matter what. Even if the person sins and doesn't deserve it, or a nevuah pasirt, you got it. If, however, it's a nevuah l'ra, then you can do tshuva. That's the whole story with Yaina Navi. Yaina didn't want to go because Yaina said, I know what you're going to do. You're going to tell him it's going to turn over, right? And what's going to happen afterwards? And then it's v'karava, right? Because when the Eibishter says it's going to happen and it's ra, that's only so they should do tshuva. So, says the Maharal, Zog the Maharal, we're still Avol hara underlined by number 2. Avol ena ba bechlet ki efshe sheishtane, because things could change around. Therefore, based on that, when the Gemara says that if a pita falls or the glass breaks or the cat crosses you, it says it's going to be ra. That's nichush. You mean you tell me something bad's going to happen? That's wrong, and that's usser, because bad can always change. Do you know what it says in our Gemara, says the Maharal? It says if you want to know you're going to make it, I'll tell you what you can do. Light the candle. If the candle stays lit, you made it. If it doesn't mean you're going to die. Because it doesn't say in the Gemara that if it extinguishes, that you're going to... It says in the Gemara one thing. If it stays lit, you're going to live. If it extinguishes, efshar, yeah, you can do tshuva. You can do tshuva. You can change it. Let's see it inside. Number 3. Zokte v'loy, a second line. V'loy boile meimer iloi masik. Elochi kama, iloi. If it doesn't happen, right? Hainu, di inami loy moshech nora. So then loy yodi masik shai. So you don't know. V'ki'ilu loy osa klum. Hostegunish getin. If it's lit, you're good to go. If the chicken goes big, you're good to go. If it doesn't, chveis nisht. Ken zayin ya, ken zayin nisht. You want to make sure, shapru ma'aseichem. So do something.
No, so Lamaisa, you're not good to go. But if you shapru ma'aseichem,
you know, for a Hatzalah member, right? A person needs to go to the doctor, right? Yeah. He's not feeling well. I don't want to go to the doctor. We're going to go to the doctor. I don't want to know. I'm scared what he's going to tell me. idiot. You tell him, go find out. If you're okay, it's good. If you're not okay,
speak to the camera, I'm going to play it.
Right? You want me to say it again? When a person, you have to go, my blood pressure, this, that. So go check it out. If it's good, it's good. And if not, so maybe you have to take medication, diet, this. You know what the Gemara is saying? Why is that telling you that I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, good or bad? Was steht nicht in the Gemara the Schlecht. Only the good says. It only says the good.
It's a matter of honesty? Because
it's exactly what the Gemara says. Simone milsa. A siman from Shamayim that's good is good. If the Eibush just sends you a good siman, you can take it to the bank. That's it. It's good. You want to know, am I going to make it this year or not? The Gemara in Hayrius Yud Beis Amud Aleph, you light the candle. If it stays lit, done deal. You made it to the end of the year. You want to know if you have a business deal and it's going to go good? So I'm not a farmer. I don't know how to grow chickens, but I guess they knew how to do it. They'll make that. They'll breed that roast that chicken. If it goes, your deal is going to be good. If not, אני לא יודע. Ich weiß nicht. Let's see it inside. Right, zog there inside. If it number 3, third of the wide lines down, third of the line underlines down. Masik shaita. That's my simon l'toive. So you gave yourself the shori dover. It's mutter. Haba mimenu yisbarach behechlet. It's something that's going to happen for sure. Behechlet. Because you got a simon toiv. Doesn't say if it doesn't stay lit, it's not going to happen, because that would be nichush. That would be usher. To tell you that because it didn't happen, that means it's going to be bad. Like the mirror broke, and then you're going to have 7 years of bad luck, or this or that. That would be nichush, and that's usher, because that's not true. Right? Zok there, right? Therefore, avaloi come the other side. The inami loy moshech nahayram efsher demasik shaita. Even if the candle doesn't stay lit, you'll make it. It's possible. Favos de la ro lebo mimenu yisbarchu the efsher sheyishtane b'shum schus v'chein boi matzle, and you can have a schus. And if we finish off at the end, last underline at the bottom of the page, avo behepech leikamer the gamim lo yimshach nahayretz, the underline, the last underline in this column, efsher sheyichya. It's possible to live. V'gam im loy shomin, even if the chicken doesn't become fat. Efshar sheyatzlichu nechasev. V'gam im loy chazu babu, if he doesn't see that shadow, he'll make it back. Efshar dohader v'osa lebeisa. The tshuva u'maisim toivim shebe'ela asara yomim yischaper loy avoinoi liyishtanes mazla hara'o letoiva. Obviously, you didn't get that mazel toiv. You didn't get that. You didn't get that sign because maybe there is something. So go ahead and do something about it. For heaven's sake, so do something. Do epis. Do something about it. Fix it up. Vakasha, it's up to you. You know, you're on the mound, you're a pitcher, you put the ball in your hand, you know how to throw strikes, so go ahead and throw strikes. You know how to do it, so do it. So what are you eating? Let's finish off. Back to the Maharal. So Maharal says, Omar Abaya, why wouldn't you want to make a simon? Those doivrei shkorim, those people who say that this is nichush, now we already have a pshat, a working pshat in the Maharal. It's not nichush, because we're not saying there's anything bad. It's a win-win. So take it. Let's go back to the end of the last paragraph, which we left off. Rakshu simin ve'ein davar kein. It's not nichush. Hu simin toiv b'shah sheroze. At the time when you should do it. V'ani oimer. Zog to Maharal. V'ani oimer. Ich will dich zogen. You know what these 5 things are? These 5 things are the best thing that you can eat in your life at this time. Shehem schus avos. The 3 Sachen are schus avos. Ki kach amar b'medrash. Melamdecha lohoil amar kadosh baruch hu temaskim lefonei schus avos b'Rosh Hashanah. Vayikra Rabbi Perek Tes v'yishu yoyim adin v'yu Nitzavim min adin. If you can internalize the schus of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, you're in a good place. How do you do that? V'kachi lefanecha devarim shum simin toiv. Shua Mailish Hoyle Ovis. Kara Pri Gadol Ma'od. A gourd is a big peri. V'zeh siman la'Avram shenemar ha'odam ha'godol ba'anokim v'agadelcha. Zu shenemar ba'Avram v'agadelcha. That's ha'godol. Rabia siman leYitzchak she'elav nemer v'hirbeisia sarecha. Ki midas Yitzchak habracha bo la'olam. Remember, Yitzchak was v'sita v'yiten l'cha lekim mital ha'shamayim. The brachas of Yitzchak is rubia, that you get the koyach of being marbe. Ve'escha l'goy gadol shel amar lekei Avram ve'avarechecha zu shel amar lekei Yitzchak. Ki Avram birchosa b'gdula v'Yitzchak midas habracha. V'lekach amar ve'avarechecha zeh shel amar lekei Yitzchak. V'shtei brachas hu be'echos hu be'kamus. Birchas hagadlus ve'echos hu birchas haribia be'kamus. Quality and quantity. Quality and quantity. Avram and Yitzchak. And then I want you to eat karti. You know why? Karti. What is karti? Leeks. But they're called karti. You know why? Keneged mida shel Yaakov. She'ola nemer ki sarisa im elekim vatuchal. Yaakov Avinu was able to beat every enemy. Lavan, Esav, the angels. Yaakov Avinu shegoiver al soinov. The soinov loy yuchlu loy mitzad birchosei ha'elyoina. Avram Yaakov Avinu was azoy gebenched. Yaakov Avinu. So when you're eating the kara and the rubia and the karti, says the Maharal, ich zog dich, you're internalizing, like the Ramban said, that you want to make a siman to actualize the hashpah toiva. That's what these three represent. What are the next two? Tamri, tzaddik katomar yifrach, kol Yisrael, right, is considered va'amech kulam tzaddikim, right? We say tzaddikim are kosev b'sifron shel tzaddikim, right? Shana toiva te kosev v'zechosev ba'alta l'chaim shana b'sifron shel tzaddikim. So you eat a tamar keneged the tzaddik. The silky, what's the silky? Balei tshuva l'salek chatam. So even if a person made a mistake, l'salek etzeh. Madregosam gedoyla shebemokim shebalei tshuva oimdim tzadikim en yecholim la'amoi. V'schus elu yemagin aleinu bedin. Zok the Maharal, this is the pshat of what you're doing when you eat this. You're internalizing the opportunity for bracha in your life, and that's what the Eibishter wants. He wants to give you bracha. Like we said, just don't get in the way of your own brachas. Don't get in your own head and get in the way that you can't just go ahead and figure it out. So, you know, I'm all from here in the shofar. I'm all from getting read with the Rebbe. You know, you need a little bit of help of how you go and get out of it. But there's no question that every single Yid on Rosh Hashanah has the opportunity to be minatseach, to win in the din, to get it, not just to be stam minatseach, but like we said in the Zera Shimshon Shiur, shapru maseichem, to turn it around, and any of the negativity can turn into a dover toiv. I heard, I'll finish off with one little maaseh. Somebody told me a story today. He had a neighbor. I just put out a book on Sukkos, right? So I'll tell you a Sukkah story. I just heard, one of my Talmidim told me the following Sukkah story. He said the following maaseh. He said his mother, Zechrona Livracha, loved the Yom Tov of Sukkos. Loved the Yom Tov of Sukkos, and he felt very connected. So he had a lady in his community, and she built her sukkah. Is a fellow who struggles a little bit with Parnasa. And it was about 3 days before Sukkos, and it was one of those fall storms. And the wind came, blew down her whole sukkah. She was left with nothing. It was 3 days before. It was already after Yom Kippur. And she didn't have a sukkah. he said to himself, it's not shaykh. I can't see her not having a sukkah. So he called up his friend. She's not mechuyev, but he said, b'chol zos, I got it. He called up his friend, and he said, get me a sukkah. Do me a favor, I'm a little bit tight, but kachava, he came to her house the next day, the guys came, they built her a sukkah. They built her a sukkah. She couldn't believe it. How could you do that? She says, it's my present to you. He said that night, he had a dream. His mother, his Zaidi, who've all passed away, and his Bubby, all came, and they were all sitting in a sukkah singing together. He says, one of the happiest dreams I ever had in my life. I was together with my mama, with my Zaidi, with my Baba, Heilige Yidden, and we're sitting in the sukkah. I knew it was a sign from heaven. It was a sign from the Eibishter. I had to push myself to do this. It wasn't easy. Financially, it wasn't easy. But I was able to do it, and I got a sign from Shamayim. The Olam da wissen that in as much as we're ready to get simonim from Shamayim, the Eibishter will send us simonim. There's no mikra in life. There's no coincidence. A person has to be a maimin and believe that the Eibishter is in our lives and every single thing. And amolitz mitachulam, amolitz with this, but that Rabbi Krikt gives us hashpaz and he even wants us to know. And sometimes it's obvious and sometimes it's not obvious. But it's always there and we're always connected. As we go in Be'ezras Hashem, we're finishing this year, we're going into the new year. As we said in our Zera Shimshon Shiur this year, a person has to have the bitachon and the kavanah and understand and the confidence that the Eibishter wants what's good for us. And not only wants what's good for us, he's mashpia good for us. Because only dvarim tovim come down from Shamayim. So what do we need to do? Just get out of our way. Just make sure we're in the right place, in the right frame of mind, and in the right level that we should be able to makabel those hashpos. And everyone, Be'ezras Hashem, b'chlal u'befrat, should be zoicha to a ksiva v'chsima toiva, a git gezinnt yor, with all the hashpos toivus.